Yeah, hello class. So welcome back to another session. We are now starting up the next topic of thermal properties of matter, that is 12.10. We have done 12.8 till previous class, and 12.9 is deleted from the syllabus, so we are not touching that. That is the types of heat transfer in the form of radiation, conduction, convection. Straight away we jump to the next one, that is in the form of Newton's law of cooling. I'm just now going to explain the concept, or there is some kind of derivation I'm going to come across. Though since we don't have exams to be, the derivations to be asked, let us learn that derivation and remember that formula, right? And first of all, are you all ready? Shall I start? Well, you're all ready. I can start the class now. I can start the class now, right? Right. What is this? Yeah, listen. What do you mean by cooling? First of all, what do you mean by cooling? C-O-O-L-I-N-G, cooling. Cooling means loss of heat. Cooling means what? Loss of heat. And Newton gave one formula for this, which is in the form of Newton's law of cooling. The rate at which heat loss from a body, loss of heat from a system, is always proportional to temperature difference between the system and surroundings. As simple as that. What is that? The rate of loss of heat from a system is always proportional to the temperature between the system and surroundings. This is a statement of this cooling. The rate of loss of heat from a body is always proportional to the temperature difference from the system and the surroundings. That is what you can put this mathematically like this. Mathematically, you can put it like this. If dq is the change of heat, dt is the change of time, dq by dt is called as rate of change of heat. dq by dt called as rate of change of heat. We are using negative sign to say it is losing, minus and indicate that it is lost. Plus means gaining, minus means it is losing. Rate of change of loss of heat of a body is always proportional to what? Delta T indicates the change of temperature, initial temperature and final temperature. Rate of, mathematically you can put this statement like this: dq by dt is equals to delta t. Here dt is change of time, dq is change of heat, delta t is change of temperature. This is differential. Small d indicates, small d we always indicates for differential changes, small changes. Delta t indicates a finite change, final value minus initial. This is a fixed final value, this is small change. This is fixed value, this is a small change of heat to the small change of time interval. That is, loss is shown by means of negative sign. Mathematically you can put it like this. Is the statement clear? Is the statement clear? Is the statement clear? What is that? Rate of loss of heat from a body is always proportional to the temperature difference between the system and surroundings. One small important thing is to be understood. I'll just tell you practically how can you understand this. Practically you can understand it like this. Very simple thing to understand. Consider, take a beaker filled with water. Take a beaker filled with water. Now take a beaker and fill it with water up to certain level. Insert a thermometer in this. Note the initial temperature. You can note the initial temperature. Now you start heating this. What happens now? What happens to the reading in the temperature? If you start heating this container by putting it on the stove, what happens? Will temperature increase or decrease? Temperature starts increasing. Temperature starts increasing. Very good, Rishita. Temperature increases. Let us say we'll go up to that temperature. If you go up to 100, that starts evaporating. You should not go up to 100. Simple. Right? Increases. Very good, all of you. Increases. So let us say it goes up to some temperature called as 50 degrees Celsius. It goes up to temperature called as 50 degrees Celsius. You are heating water in container to certain temperature and you are leaving it. Now what happens if you leave it? Now this is a system which has got some temperature. This system, if you leave it like this, if you switch off this stove, now what happens? If you leave it like this, it has now gone to highest temperature of 50. Now you are leaving it. You have temperature is, now it starts cooling. The mechanism of cooling starts. Cooling is nothing but losing the temperature of the body. Temperature decreases slowly. Now what this Newton's law says is that this system is now said to undergo, this cooling process, and what it says is that cooling of this body is directly proportional to the temperature difference. Let us say initial temperature is 25, final temperature what it has obtained is T2 is 50, and how much loss it is taking place depending upon this temperature difference. Means if more is the temperature difference, more it loses. If temperature difference is more, if temperature difference is 60, it loses according to that. Mean the rate at which, what is the rate at which, how fast the decrement is taking place. If more temperature is there, at more faster rate it reduces. If less temperature difference is there, less faster it decreases. From 50, it now starts cooling. If temperature difference is very large, then loss of heat also takes place at a larger manner. Loss of heat also takes place at the larger manner. If means how fast the system is cooling, how fast the water contents in this beaker are cooling down, depends on what? Depends upon the temperature difference. If temperature difference is very large, loss of heat also takes place at faster rate. If temperature, now if you are heating from 25 to 26, temperature difference is only 1, so at what rate it decreases now? It decreases slowly. Means at what rate the decrement, the loss of heat is taking place from the system depends upon the temperature difference. What you should remember is that if more is the temperature difference between the system and the surroundings, this is system, and around it whatever is present is called as surroundings. If temperature difference between the system and surroundings is very large, cooling also takes place at a faster rate. If temperature difference is too small, cooling of the system also takes place at the slow rate. More is the temperature difference, more fast rate at which it decreases. Less is the temperature difference, less rate at which it is going to decrease. If the system is very hot, it takes more time to cool down. If temperature difference is very large. Hope the point is clear. We are now going to say, like we are going to derive some mathematical expression. Is the concept, is the statement clear? What is statement clear? Is that clear, everyone? Newton's law of cooling said that the loss of heat transfer from a system is always proportional to the temperature difference. Simple thing. If the temperature difference between system and surroundings is very large, then loss of heat also takes place at faster rate. More is the temperature difference, more quickly it cools down. Means initially it cools down at a quicker rate, and slowly because from higher temperature it is coming to lower temperature, initial difference is large, loss is more. After some time what happens? Initial temperature would be, difference would be less, loss of heat also takes place at lesser rate. Means accordingly the system will, or the contents will move on. Well, you can practically verify this simply by having thermometer and stop loss and verify this experiment. So mathematically you can write like this. See, mathematically dq by dt is equals to, is proportional to, you should know the terminologies here, dq by dt, because we use same kind of things. Delta T is the temperature difference, final value, finite temperature difference, 1 degree, 2 degree, 3 degree, 0.5 degree, whatever it is. Whereas dt is the differential times. For small change of time interval, how much loss of heat takes place is directly proportional to the temperature difference between these two. You can verify this practically also. We'll do that. I'll tell you once this derivation is completed. I'll tell you how to do this. Now you can expand this mathematical form also. You can expand these terms like this to understand, or just by removing this proportionality symbol, you can write this equation as dq by dt is equals to k times of small k times of delta t. When you remove some proportionality constant, it is going to, proportionality symbol, it is going to give some constant, and that constant is called as some constant here. Okay, says there is no specific name for k, it is called as some positive constant. It says some positive constant. It is some, by removing this proportionality symbol, we are replacing some constant called as k. This equation is important. We use this equation to derive the expression. Is this equation clear? dq by dt is equals to k times of delta t. K indicates some positive constant because proportionality symbol is removed and replaced by some k. And what k this is? Small k it is, because we make use of capital K also in this derivation. Remember that point. We make use of capital K also at a later stage, but now right now this is small k. This is about the first part of Newton's law of cooling. There is no specified value. We need to determine the value of k. I'll let you know. Yes, Ravi, wait. D Ravi, We will talk about that also. There is no specific value of K from particular system, or depending on the temperature, the value of K will be obtaining. We will determine that it is not depending on materials also. From system to surroundings, it changes from in different ways. We'll now show, once the problem starts, we'll show how to find the value of K. We'll do that. Is that fine? Let us first complete the derivation part, then let us check out. Right? So what is the first equation? dq by dt minus dq by dt is equals to K times of delta t, where K is called as some constant, some positive constant. There is no designed value for this K. Accordingly, you can just remember that equation of minus dq by dt is equals to K times of delta t. Are we clear so far? If we are clear, then we go ahead with this. Are we clear so far? Statement and mathematical form of Newton's law of cooling. Are you all able to hear me or not? Clear? Yeah. Vanilla, Nikhil, right? Only one thing in Newton's law of cooling: the rate at which heat loss from a body is always proportional to the temperature difference. More temperature difference, more amount of heat losses. Less temperature difference, or that system cools down slowly. More temperature difference, that system cools down fastly. Only for certain stage it falls fastly, not for entire stage. Different time intervals, different temperature difference it is going to have. According that small difference you should get. There is some difference here. More temperature difference at any time, it depends upon the present temperature difference. I'll just try to brief up all that. Now we'll we'll find some mathematical formula for this. How to find? Let us now check how to determine the expression. Instead of saying proof, let us say expression for mathematical expression for Newton's law of cooling. Expression for Newton's law of cooling. Expression for Newton's law of cooling. Now, first equation you should remember. What is that first equation? This is the first equation, that is minus dq by dt is equals to K times of delta t, where K is some positive constant. There is no number value for that, and it changes from problem to problem. We verify how it is. Now after that, we now check this part. That is, now just concentrate on this. We are going to get some terminologies which make use of some specific heat, mass, change of temperature. Try to understand the description of this experimental setup. The experimental setup consists of a beaker. The experimental system consists of a beaker filled with, as I told you this, filled with water or some liquid whose mass is m. Whose mass is, how much mass is taken in this beaker? M. Let its specific heat be S. Let initially this is at a temperature of what? T1. What is the initial temperature without heating? Its temperature is at T1. How to determine the value of temperature? By using a thermometer. Yes or no? By using a thermometer, you can determine the initial temperature. Now we start heating this. Now what happens? Slowly the temperature rises. Yes or no? Once the temperature rises, we have taken a content of water of mass m in a beaker, and whose specific it is S. It is initially at T1, which is called as room temperature. T1 is called as room temperature, or we'll say some other temperature. Let us not suppose room temperature, some other temperature, T1, and the contents in this beaker are heated using some kind of stove arrangement. Therefore, by using a thermometer here, you can measure the change of temperature. Let us say temperature in this increases, and let us say it goes now to some new temperature called as T2, final temperature. Now we are heating the content up to what temperature? Up to the temperature of T2. Up to the temperature of what? T2. Now, once it reaches T2, switch off the stove. Now, this temperature falls or the phenomena of cooling starts. We are now trying, the phenomena of cooling is now going to start. Once the temperature is reached to a value of T2, we are switching off the stove. There, it is now from high temperature falling to low temperatures, or the phenomena of cooling starts. Is this description clear? Simple thing, right? Is this description clear? Simple thing. Contents are taken, whose mass and specific heats are taken. Accordingly, it is right, clear. most of it, right? Now let dq be the amount of heat lost, amount of heat. Let dq be the amount of heat lost from T2 to say a temperature of dT2. Only understanding terminology is important. What is that we are saying? From temperature T2, the system is losing the heat. How much heat energy it lost? We are now calling that heat energy as dQ. Let dQ be the amount of heat energy lost. Yeah, clear to all of you. dQ be the amount of heat energy lost. Energy of heat lost from where? Energy of heat lost from temperature of what? T2 to what temperature is now going? We are not talking to the case of complete T1. We are now taking some new temperature called a small change of temperature. From T2, some temperature is lost. We are now saying that differential value, the small change of temperature from T2, we are calling it as dT2. dT2 is a change of temperature absorbing this amount of heat called as dQ. dQ is amount of heat, lost due to what? Due to the change of differential temperature from T2 to some new value called as D2. D2 indicates some small change of temperature resulting in small change. Now, using these things, can you write some expression like this? From the principle of calorimetry, you can now say that dQ is equals to, can you say it is in the form of ms dt2? Can you write like this? Earlier we learned the principle of calorimetry, amount of heat lost is given by or heat lost by a body is equals to heat gained by the body. dQ is equals to ms delta T. Here heat is dQ, temperature change is dT2. Accordingly, these two are connected to these conditions of mass and specific heat by ms delta 2. Can we write like this or not? Is this equation clear? Yes, Ravi says yes, right. But what is that we want the rate of heat transfer. Rate of heat transfer or lost. We want rate of heat transfer because according to Newton's law of cooling, the rate at which heat lost is. Therefore, to get that, we divide on both sides of the above equations by delta time. Let dt be the time taken to get this change. dt to the change of temperature taking place in what time? Taking place in a time of dt. Accordingly, dividing on both sides by dt. To this equation on both sides, we are now dividing with dt. Right? What that you are going to get now? dq by dt is equals to ms times of dt2 by dt. Right, Cham? You are just dividing because we want the rate of heat transfer. Accordingly, you are dividing this equation both sides by the time interval. That time interval is dt. What is this time interval dt? Time interval dt is the time taken to change the temperature from T2 to some new temperature. That difference of temperature is what dT2 is, small change of temperature. Delta T is T2 minus T1 is delta T, but dT2 is a change of temperature from T2 to some new value, small change of value, which is taking place in a time of dt. Accordingly, for this change of temperature, this is a change of time what is taking place. This equation is divided by dt on both sides. dq by dt is equals to, this equation is multiplied by, now this is what? Equation number 2. What is first equation? First equation is dq by dt is equals to k times of delta T. Second equation is dq by dt is equals to ms dt by dt. Now combining 1 and 2, what is that you can write? Combining 1 and 2, can you say that ms dt2 by dt is equals to minus k times of delta T? Check out whether you can say this or not. From equation 1 and 2, LHS is same. From equation 1 and 2, LHS is same. If for avoiding confusion, I'll write this minus here. You can write, right? Yes. Equation 1 is dq by dt is minus k delta t. Equation 2 is dq by dt is equals to ms dq by dt. Now LHS is same. Now you can see both the equations now. From equations 1 and 2, LHS is same. RHS can be equated. That is ms delta t2 by dt is equals to minus k times of delta t. That's what I have written here. Right? ms delta dt2 by dt is equals to minus k times of delta t. Now putting this in terms, or we have to modify these terms to write one mathematical steps. Is this equation clear? Is equation clear? Yes. Yeah, clear. That's simple thing only. I'm just taking in a detailed or some analysis forms. Now what we do is that we write temperature values at one term and remaining other values at one time. What is that? We'll put this d as dt2 by delta t, because dt2 is a change of temperature. dt2 is a change of temperature and delta t is also temperature. We are putting temperature at one time at one place, temperature at one place, and this is equals to what? This is equals to the remaining terms minus times of k by ms times of dt. Can you write like this? Can you write like this? dt2 by delta t. I'm writing this equation and this equation together. Temperature terms at one place, remaining all the terms at one place, minus is asterisk, k is asterisk, by ms is asterisk, and delta t is taken to the numerator. Yeah. Now check out this one. This is in the form of change of temperature by small change of temperature by finite change of temperature is equals to minus k is constant, m is constant, s is constant into dt. Accordingly, since these three are constant, let us put that k by ms is equals to some new number called as capital K. It is taken in the textbook in the form of capital K. Accordingly, we are taking like that only. He has taken this value to be capital K, so we are replacing the small k by ms in terms of k by ms is equals to capital K. Accordingly, what that you can write for this? dt2 by delta t is equals to minus k times of dt. Can you write? Can you write like this? dt2 by delta t is equals to minus is asterisk, this is capital K times of delta t. Now this is in the form of change of temperature and time interval. Yes, right. Now to get the equation, what we do is that we integrate this equation on both sides. This is small change of temperature for small change of time. By integrating this, what is it you are going to get? Total change of temperature for total time interval. That is what we mean to say. We integrate this. Integrate on both sides. By integrating on both sides, what is that you are going to get? Integrating on both sides. Integrating on both sides now gives rise to integration dt2 by delta t is equals to minus k times of integration of dt. Integration of dt, right? dt2 by delta t, we are integrating this equation on both sides, that is in the form of delta d2 by, whereas this change of temperature can go from where to where? Initial temperature, initially it is at T1 and goes to final, and when cooling down, where does it fall? From T2 it falls to T1. From T2 it falls to T1, whereas time is going to take place from where to where? 0 to capital T. What all the total time it takes is some, this indicates the total time taken. Initial time is supposed to be 0, final time is capital small t. Accordingly, this is, are the limits clear? Are the limits clear? We are just integrating and we are doing the mathematical steps here. Right. Now, what is this in this which form? This one, integration of 1 by x dx. Is this not in this form? 1 by x dx integration. It is temperature by finite change of temperature. This is temperature and differential temperature, x integration of 1 by x dx. Do you remember that formula of integration of 1 by x dx? What is integration of 1 by x dx? What is integration of 1 by x dx? You should remember these formulas which have been done in SEM 1. Integration of 1 by x dx is equals to log x. Somebody answered, I think. Log x, Ravi, right? Lavanya says 0. No, Lavanya, it's not 0. Integration of 1 by x dx is log x. Okay, just recap those formulas. So by using that formula of log, what is that you can now write? What is that you can now write? Integration of 1 by x dx. I'm just writing that here. I'll write up here. I'm just removing this text. Now check out integration of 1 by x. We had that equation of integration of d2 by delta t. Accordingly, integration of that gives rise to what? Integration of that gives rise to log of delta t, whereas the change is taking place from t1 to t2 is equals to, it is equals to minus k times. What is that other thing you have in this equation? I'll just show you that equation. This is what? Integration of 1 by x dx is equals to log x. For that log x, you have taken log of what all the bottom part you have? Delta t. Accordingly, it is log of delta t, whereas change is taking place from t1 to t2. Minus k is as it is. This minus k is as it is. And integration of 1 dt. If nothing is there, it is said to be 1. Nothing is there, it is said to be 1. Integration of 1 dt is what? Any answer can I expect from you? Integration of 1 dt. Integration of 1 dt. Integration of 1 dt. Any answer I can expect from you? This one. Integration of 1 dx is equals to x. Integration of 1 dt is equals to t. Remember these formulas. You should remember these formulas. So if not, you can just recap those formulas once again. So integration of 1 dt is equals to what? T, where change is going to take place from 0 to t. Is it clear to everyone? Are you all following? No responses. You should know two things here. One is integration of 1 by x dx, and one more thing is integration of 1 dt. I just telling you people that just recap those formulas from our previous semester. Some formulas are taken. Accordingly, this integration of this is log delta t means what? Log delta t means t2 minus t1. Delta t means t2 minus t1. Final temperature is t2, initial is t1. Accordingly, it is going to be log of t2 minus t1 is equals to minus k times of. Now we are just substituting upper and lower limits. That's it. We are substituting upper and lower limits. What is that? T times from t minus 0. And when you remove this one, you are going to get some kind of constant. This side you are going to get some constant c1. This side you are also going to get some constant c2. Putting all that c1 minus c2 or c1 plus c2, you are going to get one more constant called as c. Right? So this is equals to t minus 0 is t itself. Log of t2 minus t1 is equals to minus kt plus c. C is some constant. T minus 0 is t, minus of kt into is minus kt plus c is as it is. What is this c? When we do integrations, we get some new thing in terms of for definite integrals, we get some constant which we have done in our previous semester. Once you remove this, you are going to get some constant here c1. For this integration, one more constant called as c2. By taking that c1 to other side, it is becoming c1 minus c2. That difference or whatever the things we have, that difference is what we are calling it as c. Some constant it is. For integrations, when we do, we get some constant like that. Now, are we clear? This step is clear. Integrations formulas are clear. No responses. Able to hear me or not? Yeah, clear. Right. Fine. Right. Now, taking log to the other end, t2 minus t1 is equals to t2 minus t1. What happens if you take log to the other side? Log if you take to RHS, LHS we have log. If you take to RHS, what it becomes? If you remember, that becomes in the form of exponential term, e to the power of. This log taken to this side gives rise to exponential, and this becomes power of that minus kt plus c. Hopefully you know this. Hopefully, you know this. T2 minus T1 is equals to e to the power of. Now separating the terms. Do you know this thing or not? If you take log to this side, LHS, what is there in the log? If it is taken to RHS, that log 1 comes this side, becomes exponential term. We call this as exponential term. This is exponential. This is exponential term. That is T2 is equals to, or T2 minus T1 is equals to e to the power of minus kt into e to the power of c. E to the power of minus kt plus c can be written like this. Separating these powers, e to the power of minus kt into e to the power of c, because if your both bases are same, powers are added. If it is added, it comes this step. And we say this one as a new thing called as, let us put this as e to the power of c as a capital C. We'll put this e to the power of c as a new constant value in the form of, this is small c, this is in the form of capital C. It is taking the same notation in the textbook. Accordingly, I'm following that. You should be a little careful while writing this equation. That is T2 minus T1 is equals to C into capital C into e to the power of minus kt. Can write like this. I'm just replacing this e to the power of small c as some constant value that is taking the form of capital C. Small k and capital K are used. Small c and capital C are also used in this equation. Or final equation for temperature is that T2, the variation of temperature related to T1. If you take T1 to this side, T1 plus e to the power of minus kt, or c into e to the power of minus kt. This is the final equation. What is needed for this? This is the final equation. What is needed for us? Final equation, or this is expression for, or what it is trying to tell us is, what this equation is trying to tell us is that difference of temperature is going to vary in terms of exponential form. This is an important relation. What do you mean by exponential form? Exponential form means it will not go in the linear mode. What is, you should know that you should understand this concept of linear graphs and exponential graphs. Linear graphs means you are going to get some kind of a straight line curves like this. Linear graphs, you are going to get some kind of, means equal changes will result in equal changes of one, result in equal changes of other. For equal changes of time, speed takes place. 5 seconds, 5 meters, example I'm taking, 5 meters per second. Next 5 seconds, 5 more meters per second. Next 5 seconds, 5 more meters per second. Accordingly, that is called as linearity. But if it is not depending on linearity, if you are going to get some kind of curved shape like this, then it is called as exponentially. This is called as exponential decrement. Now, this factor of E indicates, minus indicates that this temperature is going to decrease exponentially. What do you mean by decreasing exponentially? Every time that change, this is the graph drawn between change of temperature and change of time. For some change of time interval, decrement is not same as it was the first one. It depends upon the change difference, temperature difference of that at that instant of time. The change of temperature at this location is not varying uniformly throughout the same change of time interval. If that depends on the change if that difference change of temperature depends on time, what should happen now? You should get a graph which is going to take place like this. This indicates that equal changes of time results in equal changes of temperature. But this is not happening in case of this one. It is varying in terms of what forms? It is varying because of this presence of exponential term. We say change of temperature is varying in terms of exponential terms. Means the decrement is going to take place in this form, not in the form of a straight line path. This is the final equation needed for us. I'll now tell you how to make use of this formula to understand the numerical problems. Important question this is. It's not parabolic shape, it is in the form of some curved shape. Ravi. What do you mean parabolic path? Parabolic path means some kind of inverted U shape, right? Parabolic path. Path of a projectile is parabola. We say that inverted shape. That is, this is, I'll just draw that shape somewhere here. You should know this exponential graphs by this time. Have you not seen any exponential graphs so far? Sine curve, we know. Sine curve is going to be some kind of a waveform like this. And straight line graphs, we are going to get something like this. Ilanti graphs, we know all this, right? A straight line. This indicates uniform nature, these two. What are uniform nature? Equal changes of equal changes of y coordinates will be having equal changes along x coordinates. But in this case of Newton's law of cooling, what is happening? From the equation, it is very clear it is depending as exponential term. Exponential term means in simple thing, how much change you measure at some time. You may measure change at some time called as 11 o'clock. You may measure change at some other time called as 10 o'clock. You may measure change at some other time called as 9 o'clock. Now there are three different time intervals change. Now these time intervals change. Are you all? Just let me tell you practically. మీకు అర్థమయ్యేటట్టు సింపుల్ గా ప్రాక్టికల్ చెప్తాను చూడండి అమ్మా. We have beaker, right? Exponential change అంటే ఏంటో ప్రాక్టికల్ గా చెప్తాను చూడండి. Just listen to this. You have a beaker with the water which is heated to 50 degrees Celsius, right? You are now removing the stove. 50 degrees నుంచి కూల్ అవుతూ వస్తుందా? Right? Water is now cooling down from 50 degrees to room temperature. Room temperature ఎంత ఉంది అనుకుందాం మనము. Let us suppose room temperature is 20 degrees Celsius. Now water is cooling down from 50 to 20. At what time it is 50? Let us say at 11 o'clock it is 50. మరి టైం అయ్యేటప్పుడు తర్వాత ఏమొస్తుంది? 11:30కి 30 minutes చేంజ్ అయింది. 30 minutes చేంజ్ ఎంత టెంపరేచర్ ఉంటుందమ్మా? Will it be same 50 or some other number? Let us suppose it is some other number called as 40 degrees. Now after some more time, say 12 o'clock, in the first 30 minutes how much change has taken place? 10 degrees. In the second 30 minutes, will it be same 10 degrees now? No, that is the meaning of exponential. First change of, for some change of time, how much difference it is taking place will be different from that of the second time. Now second 30 minutes, it will not go to 30, it will be now going to 36 or 34 like that. Some other change it is going to be. Now not equal changes. We cannot say not equal changes, we cannot say no, that is in the form of non-uniform also. Exponentially something different. Now again at 12:30, from 36 it now comes to 30. Now see the difference here. See the difference here. Important one, only important point is this one here. Concentrate now. Here the difference between room temperature and initial temperature is more. During the initial time at 11 o'clock, difference is very high. How much is the difference? Difference is 30 degrees. Room temperature to highest temperature 30 degrees. Since temperature difference is more, for some time interval, decrement is also more. 10 degrees lost. For some time interval, since temperature difference is very large, heat loss is also more. During the same time interval of 30 minutes, since now how much, now at 11:30, how much is the final temperature? 40. And how much is the difference here? Difference is 20. During the first half an hour, difference is 30, 10 is lost. During the second half an hour, what is happening? During the second half an hour, it is no longer depending on the initial time, initial temperature. It is depending on what? Present temperature and the room temperature. How much is the difference now? Difference is 20. Means temperature difference is less. Accordingly, loss is also less. How much loss takes place? 4 degrees. Or let us say 6 degrees. Is the point clear? Now again during the next 30 minutes, how much is the temperature difference now? Temperature difference is 14. Accordingly, if temperature difference is 14, it will be now losing some other. If less is the temperature difference, less amount of heat it losses. More is the temperature difference, more amount of heat it loss. Every time whenever it is losing the heat, it is not depending upon the initial temperature, but it is depending upon the temperature difference present at that time with that of the surrounding temperature. That is the meaning of exponential terms. I'm repeating, concentrate. I'm repeating. Initial temperature is 50. body system is heated to 50 and room temperature is 20. The process of cooling started at 11 o'clock. After 11:30, if you check, you find that value to be 40. Means 10 degrees temperature is lost. 10 degrees is lost at what difference? When the temperature difference is 30 degrees, it has lost 10 degrees in 30 minutes. Now, during the second 30 minutes from 11:30 to 12, from 11 to 11:30, from 11:30 to 12, what is happening? Temperature difference is 20 only. Accordingly, loss is also less because temperature difference less, loss is 6 degrees. Example I'm taking. And during the next 30 minutes, temperature difference is less, loss is also less. During next 30 minutes, temperature difference is much more less, loss is also less. Varying in this way is called as exponential form. Going in this way is called as, or one important point is that equal changes of time will not result in equal changes of temperature difference. That is the meaning called as exponential form. Is the concept clear? That is the meaning, what we call it as exponential form. If it is clear, we now write one mathematical formula to solve problems. Doubt clear, sir. Very good. Exponential means you should get this one all the times. What things you should get in your mind when you say exponential is that it depends upon the difference at that instant of time only. Not water might have started cooling at 90 degrees or 100 degrees. But when you look at some other time, at what time you are looking and how much is the surrounding temperature, only upon those factors it depends. It won't depend upon the initial temperature where it has started. Is the point clear? Now we write this thing, this Newton's law of cooling in better form for solving the problems. For solving problems, Newton's law of cooling formula to be used like this. We should use formula like this. Formula, the way to be used is that, remember like this. How to use the formula of Newton's law of cooling to solve the problems. It is like this. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of temperature. You should remember this formula. Remember this formula like this. Change of temperature by time is equals to K is constant. We will find this value K into average change of temperature. This is a formula what you should remember while solving the problems. Let me take this mathematical form like this. Let T1 and T2 be the temperatures of the system. Let T1 and T2 be the temperatures of the system, and T0 be the room temperature. Room temperature or surroundings temperature. System has got two temperatures. System is coming from T2 to T1, right? Whereas every time what is happening, it is interacting with the temperature of the surroundings. Surroundings temperature is called as room temperature, called as T0. Yes or no? Is this three terminals clear? System is heated to a temperature of T2. It is cooling down. It is coming to T1 and it is keep on changing. But every time different T's, whatever it has got, it is interacting with surrounding temperatures T0. Right? T1 and T2 be the temperature of the system at two different time intervals, and T0 be the room temperature always. Are these three things clear? T1, T2 and T0. Are these three things clear? Yes. Then we'll write this formula like this. T2 minus T1 by dt is equals to K into T average minus T0. What is T average here? Remember this formula. Important formula. Solving problems is based on this formula. If T1 and T2 are the temperature of the system and T0 is the temperature of the surrounding, that is room temperature, then Newton's law of cooling is given by this formula. That what is that? Formula is something like this. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of temperature. What does it mean? T2 minus T1 is a change of temperature. by time, I'm calling the time as dt, is equals to some constant k, forget about k, don't bother about k, k into average change of temperature. What will be average change of temperature? These two will have some average value with that. That change of average change of temperature, average change. What is room temperature? T naught. Change means minus change. Change with what? Change of room temperature. Average change means T average is equals to what? T average is equals to T1 plus T2 by 2. T average is equals to T1 plus T2 by 2 minus T naught. This is average change of room temperature, means change means minus, room temperature is T naught, average change, average minus this one. This is called as average change of room temperature. How to get the value of average means take the sum of these two by 2. Is this formula clear? If this formula is clear, then we'll understand. I'll take one example to solve this. Interesting problems you'll get. You should understand this concept now itself. Later stage it is difficult, no longer let it prolong, but I want you to concentrate in solving at least one problem now so that you can practice at later stage. After this class, you can practice some more problems. Is this formula clear? Is this formula clear? Clear, says Nikhil. Right. Only one response. Yes, sir, Ravi. Right. What is that? I'm just recapping. Remember the formula of Newton's law of cooling like this. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of room temperature. Average change of room temperature. Now let me show you one problem and how to solve that. Remember this formula? We use this space to solve that problem. I'll show you an example given in the textbook. Concentrate. Somebody like Ravi asked me earlier, like what is the value of K? Nowhere K value will be given. You need to identify the value of K. As per the given question, you should be in a position to find the value of K. How to do that? Now I'm going to tell you. Now I'm going to tell you how to determine the value of K. I want all of you to concentrate thoroughly on this. We take only one problem, but based on this problem only, you are going to get many other things. Is that clear? Those who have textbooks can refer to this. Example 12.8. Example 12.8. Are you able to see this question? In page number 307, you have a question given like this. Example 12.8. A pan filled with hot food cools from 94 to 86 in 2 minutes. When the room temperature is T20, how long will it take to cool from 71 to 69 degrees? Are you all with the question? I want replies. Are you all with the questions? Yes. Now, first of all, we'll apply Newton's law of cooling, the formula what I gave now, but tell me what is T1 here, what is T2 here, what is dt here, what is room temperature here. We had different things like T1, T2, T0 and dt. T2 is, you should know that. Once you know that, you can understand this. T2 is, no answers. Don't look at the solution, try to answer this. T2 is, yes, Nikhil answered, right. T2 is 94, not 96, 94 it is, right. T1 is 86, right. T1 is 86, right. What is T0 room temperature? 20. Time 2 minutes. You know the basic clear. Now try to understand the question. What he says in the question. Try to understand the question. A pan filled with hot food cools from 94 to 86 in 2 minutes. When the room temperature is 20, how long will it take to cool from 71 to 69? Same food he's asking. Here there is a food which is changing from 94 to 86. Temperature of the food is changing from 94 to 86. From 94 to 86, it is taking 2 minutes. While room temperature is 20, this cannot be changed. This is fixed. How long will it take to cool from the same food How much time it takes to cool from 71 to 69? Is the question clear? Yes. Now check out how to solve. Understand this now itself. Later stage it becomes difficult. Now itself you need to concentrate. There are two Newton's law of cooling. Listen, Newton's law of cooling is always based on two different cases. There will be two cases in this problem. Case 1, case 2. Two temperature changes he has given. Yes or no? Two temperature changes are what? 94 to 86 and lastly 71 to 69. Right? Two cases. This is from 94 to 86. Whereas in second one he is asking from 71 degrees Celsius to 69 degrees Celsius. Yes or no? For this, how much time it is taking? 2 minutes. And he is asking time taken for this. Yes or no? Or remember, Newton's law of cooling problems based always in two different cases like this. Every problem will have two cases like this. Now, any idea how to solve this? Any idea how to solve this? Write the formula first. I'm writing generalized formula, that is delta T by dt. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into delta T average change of room temperature. Same formula what I have written earlier, T2 minus T1. T2 minus T1. Is that clear? Is this formula clear? Intaku mundu rasina formula modify chesi ila rasan. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of room temperature. Do you remember this or not? Or see here, in this same formula is applicable for both. Whereas to solve this problem, we need the value of K. Yes or no? Somebody asked, Ravi asked earlier, how to find what is K. K is some value like this, which remains constant, something like this. What is that? Using the case 1 data, firstly determine the value of K. And once you get the value of K, use the same value again, use it for the second data and find the needed things. Is it there in case 1, this change of temperature is there or not? Change of temperature in case 1 is 94 minus 86. By time is 2 minutes. Is equals to K into average change of temperature. We need to find the value of this. How to find the average change of room temperature? Sum of these two by 2 minus room temperature is 20. How much is room temperature given in this question? 20 degrees Celsius. Is the concept clear? How are we solving this now? I want responses. Every Newton's law of cooling problem based on two cases. In case 1, with the data given in case 1, we have to determine the value of K. Again, using the same formula for case 2 with different change of numbers, use the value of K obtained in case 1 to find the needed things. In second case, you may be asked to find time, you may be asked to find one of the temperature, or you may be asked to find room temperature also, or sometimes you will be asked to find the value of K also. Are the things clear? Are the things clear? Formula is one, two different cases. We apply that in two different forms and we use the case 1 data to find the value of K, and using that one we use that K in the second case to find the value of the needed thing. Now let me write like this. There are two cases, right? I'll write closer things. Case 1, case 2. Concentrated the solution now. In case 2, it should go from 71 to 69 in how much time? Where temperature of the surroundings will not change. These are the two things given the question, right? Yes or no? First of all, let me know. Room temperature is constant. Room temperature is constant, 20. Initially, it is undergoing from 94 to 86 in 2 minutes. Later, it should go from 71 to 69 in how many minutes? This is the thing given in the question. Yes or no? Is the question clear now? Is the question clear now? Responses, please. Question clear now? Yes. Now, using Newton's law of cooling formula. Using Newton's law of cooling formula. What is that? Formula is T2 minus T1 by dt is equals to K into T average minus T naught. I have written this formula earlier also, the last step, same formula I'm using. Right? Now can you determine the value of K? To determine the value of K, this is in case 1. Case 1, T2 minus T1 is how much? Before solving this, better find the value of T average. T average, if you by looking at this data, if you can find the T average, that becomes easy. Here in case 1, what is T average? 94 plus 86 by 2, sum of these 2 by 2, which is 180 by 2, is equals to 90 degrees. Right, Cha? Can you write this one? In case 1, what is average value? Now all the things are clear. In this, T2, T1 is there, dt is there, K is not there, T average is there, T naught is there. Now can you find the value of K or not? What is that? 94 minus 86 divided by, no need to change time to seconds. You can keep it like this, minutes only. Minutes, hours, seconds, whatever it gives, you can keep it the same. 94 minus 86, change of temperature by time, is equals to K into average change of temperature. It is 90 minus 20, yes or no? Yes or no? 4. What is 4, the Ravi? Which 4 is that, Ravi? I did not get you. Ravi 4 annadu ento ardham kaledu. Which 4 is that? If you know this formula, understanding and applying is only need practice. You need only practice to understand this. 8 by 2. Endukai? Right. That's fine. Okay, you are answering this, right? Right. Plus how much it is? 16. Difference entundamma? 4 plus 4, 8. 8 by 2, 4. Or K is equals to how much? 4 by 70. Ante kada? Value of K is obtained. Is this K value clear? For using this data, determine the value of K. 90 minus 20. Is the 90 minus 20 enduku vachindu? Formula itself is K average minus T naught. K average is sum of these 2 by 2. ఎక్కువ steps అనిపిస్తాయి కానీ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేస్తే చాలా ఈజీగా చాలా ఇంట్రెస్టింగ్ గా ఉంటాయి. So we used case 1 data to solve what? To determine the value of, we used case 1 data to determine the value of K. Now use this K in case 2. Case 2 లో మనం ఏం కనిపెట్టాలి? Let us write the given data. Case 2 లో ఏముంది చూడండి ఒకసారి. In case 2, it should go from 71 to 69 in what time? With room temperature of 20. Now you people try to answer this in case 2. I want you people to answer this formula. So tell me the formula now. Tell me what should I write? 71 minus 69 by T. We need to determine this T only. 70 is the average. Very good. Manasa, time taken, right? Right, time taken is to be determined. So is equals to, what is K now? 4 by 70. Antena? K into, what's the average change of temperature here? Temperature change is 20 only. You should find the average of these two values. That is 71 plus 69 by 2, which is equals to 140 by 2, which is equals to 70. Somebody answered, I think. Nikhil answered something. What is that? 4 by minus 20. Nikhil, I did not get you. Mistaken. Yeah, that's right. 70 minus 140. 70 minus 20. Yes or no? If this step is clear, then everything is fine. It's okay. It happens, Nikhil. No issues. It is, yeah. It is what? Instead of 4, what is that you should write, Nikhil? It is 70 minus 20. What is that now? Only one unknown thing is here. What is that? One unknown thing. That is 2 by T is equals to 4 by 70 into 50. 0, 0 gets cancelled. 4 by 5, 20. 2 by T is equals to 20 by 7. Or T is equals to, hopefully can say this. T is equals to 2 into 7 by 20. 2 on the 2 10. This is equals to 0.7. Initial time is given in terms of minutes, so we'll get answer also here in terms of minutes. 0.7 minutes and any seconds, amma. How many seconds it is equals to? It is equals to 42 seconds. Now check the answer in textbook. Don't bother about the other steps. Check the answer. Got it? Got it? Fine, understood? Same. So hopefully this must be clear. Only one thing. Only one thing. What is that thing? Formula, Newton's law of cooling formula is to be understood. Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of room temperature. Average change of room temperature. This formula is to be applied. Every Newton's law of cooling problem will be definitely based on two cases like this. Two cases like this. Accordingly, using the first case, determine the value of K. Use that K in second case to determine whatever is asking us to find. He may be asked, in this question he asks us to find time. Sometimes time would be given, you may be asked one of this temperature, either this or this. Or all these things would be given. If these two are given, this is also given. If these two values are given, it means that T average is also given. Then in that case, if all the data is given, you may be asked to find room temperature. Is the concept clear? Change of temperature by time is equals to K into average change of room temperature. Is the point clear? Shall I now conclude this session? Now you have similar questions in the textbook which you can go through to understand more. Look at this question. This needs only practice. I'm telling you, this problem, solving problems needs only problem. Now what you people can do is try this problem in page 311. In page 311, you can look at the second question. Image is not focusing. Yeah. In page 311, state and explain Newton's law of cooling and see that question. A body cools down from 60 to 50 in 5 minutes and to 40 in another 8 minutes. Find the room temperature surroundings. In this case, what happened? In both the cases, T average is not there. You need to solve those two equations to find the value of T naught. Can you try this? Case 1 is from 60 to 50 in 5 minutes. T naught is not given. These three are given. This is not given. In this problem, this is given, this is given, this is given, this is not given. In the second case also, these three are given, this is not given. Now again use the same methodology. You'll get two equations with two T naughts. You should solve for T naught in that. How to solve two equations for T naught? Addition or subtraction, or using the system of simultaneous equations, something like that. Will you try that today? Try chestara ivala. You should try. I'll give some more questions similar to this. By today evening, I'll post questions in the Google Classroom. And you'll find one more question like that. You'll find one more question here at 6th one. A body cools from 60 to 40 in 7 minutes. What will be the temperature after next 7 minutes if the temperature of surroundings is 10 degrees? Question number 6 in the same page. Two cases. You should try, all of you. Rishita, we will try, right? That's fine. Right? The moment you try, either you learn, either you get the answers, or you will learn something like what is that you have tried from that. Just check out in the textbook whether any other same problems are there or not. I'm just checking. Yeah, similar questions are not there. I'll provide you some more similar questions. In page 314, you find one more question. Page number 314, the last question. Can you see this? 12.22. Fine. How many are there as of now? How many to be tried now? There are 3 questions to be tried. 3 questions to be tried. How? Spend some time on this. You will. I am sure that you are going to enjoy this. You will learn solving these problems because those are interests. Only you should understand how to apply the formula properly. Clear? I'll just stop recording now, or I'll just close the session. Like, you can practice them. You can ping me personally in my WhatsApp. You hope you all have that, or you can post in groups also. If you want, you can post that solutions in the groups. And as usual, if any right solutions or any detailed correct solutions, I'll be posting up. I'll add up, Ravi, just ping me. As of example problem, sir. Yeah, it's example problem. Just for practice purpose, we are making use of that. You will find that answers, vanilla, there at the end of textbook. At the end of textbook, you'll find answers for that. I'll verify all that. You can just try those, check out how much you can do, and let me know. Is that fine for everyone? Thanks for joining for this class. See you in the next class with new chapter. Right? Have nice, thorough practice sessions on this. Right. Thank you, everyone.